The safest sounding words in a proposal, fixed fee, are usually where most firms end up losing their margin because the client gets certainty, but you get the uncertainty, and that's usually unpaid. Let's solve this in 3 minutes. So, you agree to design a project for about 20 lakhs, the client loves it. The budget is known and the proposal is approved. Great. And then suddenly one day reality happens. The brief begins to change, approvals begin to stall, and the consultant runs late. Suddenly the client says, "Can you add just one more option?" Coordination doubles, triples. Client is still paying you 20 lakhs. Who is paying for the extra effort? You are. And that's why fixed cost, it's not really a pricing strategy per se. It's a risk allocation mechanism. You're telling the client that I'm going to give you price certainty, but in exchange, I'll absorb the delivery uncertainty for a premium, of course. There's nothing wrong with that trade. Fixed fees can be excellent, but you have to price the risk that you're accepting. And that's where most firms tend to get it wrong. They tend to calculate the fee from a starting point of expected effort, and they never ask what would happen if reality ends up disagreeing with them. 800 hours multiplied by internal cost is going to be about 8 lakhs. They'll add a little bit of margin and quote 12 lakhs. Looks profitable on paper. But if a project runs to 1000 hours, your margin shrinks. At 1200, you're working on a completely different margin and different economics. The invoice has not moved. The quote was not wrong. It just assumed that the uncertainty was not going to exist or was going to be very minimal and handleable. So before offering any fixed fee, try to ask 5 questions. 1. How clear is the scope? Can you describe exactly what's included and what's excluded? 2. How stable is the brief? What will happen when requirements will change? Do you have any agreement around that with the client? How much is outside your control? Client decisions, consultants, contractors. How predictable is the effort? Have you delivered this kind of project before? And the big one is, what happens when the assumptions are wrong? The 5th question is typically where the difference between a good, safe proposal and a bad proposal lives. Don't just state the price, state the conditions under which the price is valid. 1 primary decision maker. Decisions taken within 5 working days, no later than that. 2 revision rounds. Consultant coordination is excluded or the schedule is agreed upon. Now, suddenly after that, we would not have a fixed price, we would have a commercial boundary. So, if conditions change, and they will, the economics too will change. And this is not about greed, it's the mechanism that tends to protect the original agreement. You never agreed to whatever you want for 20 lakhs. You agreed to this service under these assumptions, under these conditions for 20 lakhs. And the upside, fixed fee always rewards efficiency. Why? Because if you estimated 1000 hours and your firm is getting better and better, now you can deliver it in 800 hours, then this gain is yours. And that's exactly how it should work. The real question is never how much should we charge, it's what are we delivering, under what assumptions, under what constraints, and what would happen when these assumptions would change. But not all projects carry the same uncertainty, so how do you put an actual number on it? Next episode, risk is not a feeling, it's a line item.